We are back on Morning Drive a week from today, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Golf Channel. TaylorMade's Driving Relief for the best players in the world coming together at one of the great golf courses in the world that the world has never seen. And joining us now is the president of Seminole Golf Club, which will be playing host to the event, Jimmy Dunne. You and the club made the choice some time ago to entertain the Walker Cup, one of the great amateur competitions put on by the USGA that's going to be next May. That was going to be the showcasing of the golf club and the golf course to the world. Now we're going to see it earlier. Can you kind of give everybody an understanding of how this all came together?
Yeah, sure, Gary. Obviously, with the COVID-19, you got to be flexible, and we were really excited about the Walker Cup, and we are still very excited about the Walker Cup, and very hopeful next May we'll have it. And that was going to be our sort of showcase, and that's something we spent a lot of time, and we're really thrilled we're going to do it. What had happened is not too long ago, the producer NBC and Pete Bavacqua had emailed me. Pete's a member of Seminole, as you know, and he had said that they're going to do this spectacular event for Taylor. Is going to sponsor with obviously these 4 great players to raise some money from COVID-19, and he thought that Seminole would be a great place to host it, and would we consider it? And as you well know, having worked there, Gary, it's not something Seminole would normally do. It's not that we're above it. It's just that there's a very low profile, and we're not one for a lot of publicity. Obviously, when we decide to have the Walker Cup, you've opened it to the golf world. And after I thought about it for a little bit and spoke to a couple people, I thought it was something we should do. And everyone is donating all their time. All the money is going to COVID-19. There is no commercial benefit here. So I thought it might be a fun thing to do. I spoke to the USGA, I spoke to Fox, and they were both totally amenable and happy to play a part in it. So we're excited to have it next Sunday, and hopefully it'll be a fun event.
It most certainly will. Jimmy, I know that you have played a number of rounds at Seminole with some of the best players in the world, and I know that you're very aware of the way that they go around that place, and I know you're curious about the way that they take on that golf course. What do you think the viewer needs to focus on when they watch these 4 great players playing that golf course?
Well, first of all, I think obviously we're going to have handheld cameras. It won't be as it's going to be by the Walker Cup. And I think there's a charm to that. I think these will be handheld cameras. We won't have all of the sophisticated techniques that that television uses to cover golf tournaments. But I think Seminole is unique. The ball's played a lot on the ground. I think we're hoping for continued dry weather for the next week, and you'll see it a little bit browned. And Seminole is a little like some of the great links courses in the sense that you've got to watch your ball till it stops. If you hit it in the middle of the green on the second hole with a little bit of action in it, I suggest don't grab your putter just yet. It could roll all the way down the hole. That's true on 11. Certainly the wonderful 12th green, depending on where the pin is. If you borrow a little bit too much, it'll sweep off to the right. 17, as you know, Gary, is going to be very difficult to hit. So I think the key, who can control his golf ball, and the appreciation that whatever the size of the greens appear, the reality is they play much smaller. So we have a kind of a saying around here, which is called greens visited regulation. So it's really hard to keep the ball on the green. Now, obviously, you've got Rory Mcilroy, Dustin Johnson, and Matt Wolff. You've got, these are some of the greatest players in the world, and they've all played in the pro member. So they're accustomed to it better than most. But, you better watch the ball till it ends. You just don't hit it into a bowl of pudding and expect the ball to stay there. It'll keep moving. And hopefully we'll get some dry weather, and that'll be on display next Sunday.
But before I let you go, I want to ask you about, because knowing your background and knowing your benevolence, what do you hope and what do you believe that the club is going to feel and get out of this in terms of the willingness to open the club up, not only to these four players, but really to sports fans to see it for the first time under these circumstances when the world is gripping with something that has taken a real toll physically, emotionally, spiritually? What do you hope the club gets out of this?
Well, my hope would be a couple things. One, I hope we raise a fair amount of money for people that are really going to be stressed and all the damage that COVID-19 has done. And there are going to be a lot of people hurting. Obviously, the economic stimulus has been wonderful, but that will wear off. So somewhere in someone that are in kind of desperate situations, if we can bring some financial relief, provide meals, provide some kind of comfort, that's the number one goal. And that's everyone, the tour, NBC, the players, Seminole, are all trying to achieve. The second is it'll be the first live anything in TV in some time. And so we're hoping to bring a smile onto some people's faces and a little bit of a normality and just a little joy. But it is not a customary kind of thing that we would do at Seminole. And it's really out of character for us, but we're doing it for the right reasons. We're doing it to bring a little joy to the golfers, to golfers and sports enthusiasts everywhere. And we're doing it for the right reasons out of that. This telecast is going to absolutely help people that are suffering.
And we thank Jimmy Dunne for joining us. And it's a great effort on the part of a lot of people to be able to make this event happen. Now, not long after I spoke to Jimmy, he had an afternoon tee time. And this is just off the 17th tee at Seminole Golf Club from right to left. World number one, Rory Mcilroy, who will obviously be a participant in the TaylorMade Driving Relief. There's Jimmy Dunne. There's world number 4, Justin Thomas. And they're all grown men. Now, the guy on the far left has 6 Super Bowl rings. He's a fully grown man. That is Tom Brady, a new member at Seminole Golf Club. Now, John, when you look at next week and you consider Rory and Dustin Johnson against Rickie, Fowler and Matthew Wolff, do you have a sense of who has the edge in this?
I'll tell you what, Gary, it will be very, very interesting to see the great Seminole out there for everybody to see. I know they've added some tees. I hope that the wind blows. I hope it gets firm, fast, and fiery. Greens do play a lot smaller than the actual square footage, so you have to be creative around Seminole, and you have to have patience. Creativity comes with, for Rickie Fowler, but does he have the patience? And Matt Wolff, he hadn't played a golf course like this, so I'm giving the edge to Rory and Dustin just because with their power, they can take advantage of some of these new tees and the length. And also, they do have the patience to go around Seminole and kind of feed off each other and make a lot of birdies. It will be very intriguing. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to watch. I got everything ready to go already. So I'm going to give the edge to DJ and Rory right now.
Okay, of course, it is a week from today, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Golf Channel and NBC as well, and streaming as well on all digital platforms. That is 2 p.m. And again, it is the TaylorMade Driving Relief.